moving on to our next topic, it actually still involves gaming, but China just brought down the ban hammer. The ban hammer for online gaming, chatting with foreigners outside the Great Wall Firewall. So let's read this first. In the Taiwan news, after blocking the popular Nintendo game Animal Crossing from the Chinese Communist Party, is taking its political censorship to an extreme level by disconnecting Chinese online gamers from their guildmates outside China. This to many this might sound strange, but you may recall that China has its own Steam that they're building, and Google built their own firewall for China as well. So let's keep reading, but keep these thoughts in mind. How companies are helping China achieve this over the past few years. On April 10th, China banned the popular social simulation video game in which gamers can create a home and interact with cute animal villagers, owning to Hong Kong pro-democracy activist Joshua Wong, revealing a customized scene in the game which features free Hong Kong and mocks Chinese leader Winnie the Pooh. Several other players were also found leveraging the game to vent their discontent with the CCP and making satirical content related to the CCP's failure of tackling the virus. The communist regime said to have noticed an authority vacuum in online multiplayer games, which enables people to frequently socialize without monitoring. Local metro policies are scrambled to draft laws to expand the scope of online censorship in video games, and even prohibit gamers from meeting and chatting with people on the other side of the Great Firewall, which cited news from the Chinese government. So meeting gathering, what did they call that? Like, you remember in America when we have these people spoofing, was it spoofing where, maybe I got angry at you and so I called the cops because I had your address, and then they went to your house and they thought you had a gun and they shot you. So they're trying to say you can't meet people or chat with the people outside of your country. How would you feel about that if your country started putting the borders up in firewall? It doesn't matter if it's China. I mean, what takes place in one country can easily follow onto the next and the next. We'll get back to that. As the CPP audacious global propaganda campaign to silence critics abroad and to defend its infallible, fails to work out a new law is expected to block the Chinese people from learning how the world is reacting to Beijing's handling of the outbreak. Now, I have another video up here that you can see. It was a day or two ago that Chinese passed, I think it was Monday, that they passed new laws, not so much for online gaming, but gaming in general. So you should take a look at that video to see how involved they've got in this topic. But yeah, how would you feel about that? Do you like when your games are censored? Like, there was a talk that PlayStation was censoring games, but then Xbox and Steam wasn't for some popular games because Sony moved to California. On the other hand, how would you feel like if you're in France but you can't play with people in Spain, or if you're in California and you can't talk to people in New York? I don't know. Leave your thoughts below. Do you think this can go global? Do you think it's just, or do you think this will stay in China? Hi. The small clip you saw was brought to you by Loyal World News. If you like what you saw, you should subscribe and look up my daily Loyal World News report for its full version. If you don't want to watch it on YouTube, prefer to be on the road, I also have a podcast in every full-length video I put up.